Alright, what's going on, guilty guys and gals? Welcome back to Draw. Please, please have it work this time, just completely, with the music and all. I mean, the stream went well, so it should be working. Oh, that's right, we run really fast now. Now, the FTEs you want me to do are Teruyas, so I'm going to record those after. Oh, wait, there's a gate down here? I never even realized that. Anyway, I'm going to record those after I do, like, 30 minutes of this or something. So, yeah, there's probably one about to start, like, right now. Alright, it's Teruya'S FTEs. Good old sewer boy. Here we go. Man, I wanted to do Teruya'S for a while. I love Teruya. Even though he's, like, objectively not that good in this game, I still love him. Cool. Cool story, bro.
Teruya, what's wrong?
How long we gonna be trapped in here?
Hey, calm down. I know how you feel, but crying isn't gonna change anything.
Oh boy. We got plenty of time to think on these ones.
It does. Some will change for sure.
And that something would be what?
Papa'll be coming. He hears the sounds of my cries from miles away. He'll be here any moment.
Huh?
You see, Papa always came to the rescue whenever I had problems in my childhood. He still keeps old Atori Mark going like a charm. He's my Superman, dude.
But he's not here.
He just, like, stares at you.
Ah! Papa, come save me!
I said calm down.
You're so good at talking to people, Yuki.
Shut up! Shut up!
Papa and I have never been apart for this long. Pop's taught me everything I know as a merchant. He's my mentor and goal for life. Papa, it's sad he's not here. I'll have to get up on my own.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Course, I'm gonna succeed Papa and run the biggest business in the world. Nothing can mess around with Atori Mart's future CEO. There's no time to waste. Gotta go find some clues. Now! Or now!
Teruya went dashing across the hallway with a loud battle cry. He depends a lot on his father and tends to cry often, but he recovered fast as well. I guess I should be trying to help him out when I can. Watching him disappear around the corner, I decided to move somewhere else too.
That was just... okay. Whatever. That one was weird. Okay.
Yo, Yuki! I want to do a special service for you, since we're in this together.
I'm afraid of what you're about to say. Huh? Special service?
You see, these days the trend is to put on school uniforms with this style. Aren't you wearing one too?
No. I'm good. Well, yeah, it's from the school I previously went to. I plan to change after getting a uniform from Hope's Peak Academy, but it doesn't seem that's likely at the moment.
I would have gladly handed you garbs of the latest trend, like my own uniform here. But sadly, I'm out of stock.
Well, I appreciate his thoughtfulness. I'll need to admit I'm glad he doesn't have his uniform with him. Who'd even think of that weird design as fashionable, much less wear it to school?
Now, you might take offense to this, Yuki, but you are very ugly. But your uniform looks too nerdy. It's falling behind in fashion.
What? I like my uniform to be neat and simple.
As I said, nowadays school uniforms are part of the fashion. We don't be going for simple when we wear this thing for almost 6 years. You gotta express yourself more, you got me?
He has a point. Up until now, I wasn't really that interested in fashion trends. I only kept minimal knowledge of them to catch up with my friends.
But no more worries, Yuki. Leave your uniform to me and I'll give you a design that'll make you into a fashion trendsetter.
I feel like you're trying to sell me something. Maybe it might be better for you to experiment on someone else.
Well, it might. If any of them were wearing a normal uniform like yours, what am I gonna do? Put the clown in a regular uniform? Not likely. Aren't you the perfect fit? You can be my guinea pig for years to come.
Oh no.
I feel like I've just become an evil scientist test subject.
You're more like the Igor, alright?
I want to think that this is a joke, but knowing he really means it makes me feel worse.
Don't be down. I chose you because your plain looks will be great for testing all kinds of designs on. Kind of like a template.
I'll try to take that as a compliment.
That reminds me, why don't you apply to be a fit model at my store? I think you could make the cut.
A fit model. As in, like, an outfit model.
A model? Me?
Oh, the papa might disqualify you for being a tad too plain. You just do your hair up spiky, and he'd probably like you. Don't harden that face. Aren't you one of the few friends that I made here? Pops will surely give you the job if he finds out you're my friend. Cause, most importantly, I'll be the one to bring you there. In my super cool car or something, I don't know.
Thanks for saying that. I bet he's a merchant to his bones, but it feels strange to see him treat people like products. Is this what good professional spirit is? I guess that's what being an ultimate's about, right? I ran to my room as Teruya chased after me with a tape measure in his hand. I don't like tape!
Alright, we're back. Whoa, that was weird. One song started and then another song started.
Phew, it's evening already. Talking to Teruya really takes it out of me. Another day goes by like this. It was just yesterday our spirits were risen up, and yesterday when Haruhiko and Satsuki died. It's only been a single day, but it feels like a long time ago. We have to get out of here. For my dead friends.
Ah! Jesus.
1 moment. Ray.
Come to my room a little later, once the nighttime announcement goes off.
Oh, you're here to call me. Okay. Wow, she knocks really loud. Anyway, and there she goes, right back without adding anything else. Probably because she's being conscious of the cameras. There's nothing to lose, at least, by following her words.
Ding dong.
Hiya, nighttime. Everyone's gathered, Ray.
Yes. I'll say it again and again, but we can't stay here for long, so you better open your ears and listen carefully, as I can only talk about what is absolutely necessary so we can get out of here as fast as possible.
Didn't you say you found something when we reported our investigations? If we look at what we couldn't see in the dining room, it's important. It must be so important that it would be dangerous if the mastermind heard it.
Did you find out who the mastermind is?
No, it's nothing like that.
Ray, then why? You seemed to be taken by surprise back then.
Taken by surprise. Ugh. It's a little serious you guys haven't caught on yet.
Ray?
Just listen for a moment. There are two things I've found out. Of course, I'm not too sure of them. It's just a guess anyway, but the chances are quite high. First, do you all remember what I'd said this morning?
Oh, what do you mean?
A significant amount of time has passed since we entered Hope's Peak Academy, and we don't remember it. You mean that hypothesis? Oh, I remember. I thought you were trying to drive Makako away.
Of course, I had that intention. Before I could explain it properly, Monokuma brought that transfer student in and ended that abruptly. That we'd lost our memories. Maybe this isn't just a hypothesis.
No way. Even so, the fact that all 15 of us had amnesia at the same time is pretty absurd, right?
Shut up and listen first. I'll explain it methodologically, or methodically, either way.
As Ray said that, she took a piece of paper out of her pocket. That paper is...
It's the summary of the questions I've been asking since we've been here. Nothing special.
So far... so thoroughly. Yeah, unlike us. You're very thoughtful.
First, it was right after Kinji Uhara's execution ended, when I began to suspect amnesia was most likely, when Yuki and I last spoke about this topic.
Oh, you mean when the 4th floor had just opened? I'm sorry, but even up to that time, I thought you were testing me. I couldn't really believe it.
It was around that time, but as more and more fitting clues kept coming out, I've changed my mind. Remembering what I talked about with Yuki back then, I remember the video Monokuma showed us right before Kinji was executed.
That horrible video of the children's corpses? Is that the one you're talking about?
It's not enough to kill a person. You just leave them rotting? How cruel is this, Monokuma?
Yes, they were decayed. That's where I first got my doubts. Kinji said that after we fainted, he woke up earlier than us and met face to face with Monokuma. At that time, the priest identified the children being held hostage by Monokuma and even spoke to them directly. This was the day of the entrance ceremony. It must have been about 2 weeks before his execution. I mean, even if the children were killed right after talking to him, if it had only been 2 weeks since they died, then there's a problem. It would be impossible for a person to rot so fast and turn into a skeleton in only 2 weeks.
Huh? Is this a test question? 'Cause I don't know. I can't think straight.
Same goes for me. If we look at it as O and X, is it X?
As in false. So stupid. Okay, anyway. I can't be sure since it was filmed, but if I'm right, the answer is impossible. If it wasn't artificially tampered with, or in a specific environment, naturally, at this time, the things that I'd been wondering about... We then found the notice in the library that Hope's Peak Academy was due to be closed, and the group photo of us that Yuki saw in the art room. Connecting those 2 points, was the first time I thought the possibility of amnesia.
Unbelievable, but then what?
Well, I wasn't really sure at that time, so I kept it as a hypothesis, but when I heard Satsuki's last words yesterday, I started thinking about it again more seriously.
Oh, maybe... You mean the picture Haruhiko discovered, that Satsuki mentioned?
That's right. This is only speculation, but if we'd already met before, wouldn't our bodies react first, even if we didn't remember? Looking at the picture of your lover.
You mean, before we lost our memories, Haruhiko and Satsuki were lovers?
Didn't they say that straight up? Anyway, don't take it seriously. It's all but a guess at this stage. The reason I think this way is because it's almost impossible to give up your life for the sake of someone you just met here, no matter how good or natural the relationship was. Thinking about it that way, Haruhiko's mind vaguely recognized his old memories. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm looking down at their spirit of sacrifice.
Something's weird, though. I didn't expect such a romantic comment coming from you.
It's not like that, you idiot! This is something that needs to be scientifically explained. In the case of momentary amnesia, by showing clues, such as flashbacks of old memories or hypnosis...
Okay, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Calm down and just explain it again, please.
Anyways, it was something like that. Another clue was the newspaper article Yuki and Akane found yesterday.
You mean the newspaper clippings with the date in the future?
Indeed, it's the future from our point of view. However, if we substitute in our amnesia here, can we still see it as the future?
Wait, if it's been quite some time since we entered Hope's Peak, even months, not just 3 weeks, then the date of the newspaper could be when the new semester began. And then when the new semester began, it was in the past. It's a newspaper that's been around for a while.
No, but can you really look at the newspaper's content without this newspaper's content while recklessly pushing the amnesia theory? Are you saying that absurd stuff really happened? Anyone could tell it's a manipulation.
I'd rather give more credit for this impossible thing, though.
How?
Think about it. Is there anything that has not happened since we gathered here? In the beginning, our situation itself became dangerous from the get-go.
I can't object to it.
And was it the biggest and most desperate event in human history? I've read the article slowly. It's no exaggeration to say the world has been destroyed.
The world has been destroyed? It's impossible.
No, it's not way... What? It's not really the end of the world. It's more or less a collapse of human society itself.
But what's the difference? No, even if I think carefully, it's beyond the realm of speculation. It's gotta be a joke. The world coming to an end? That literally can't happen.
You brainless fool. That's just your own opinion. The world we live in isn't perfect as we might think. No one knows when it would suddenly collapse for certainty. In the end, the Earth has already experienced hundreds of crises that could lead to nuclear war. The fact that society is being maintained like this is a fortune and not... is... I don't know how to say this. is a fortune greater than winning the lottery.
Even so, if that's true, if the real world's doomed, then what reason do we have to leave this place anymore? How are we supposed to live on if you tell me the world's gone?
Teruya.
Don't be so discouraged. As I keep saying, it's all but a guess at this point. But also one with high probability. The biggest and most desperate event in human history. Actually, we may already know what is supposed to be the aftermath of it.
What are you talking about?
The motive Monokuma showed us before Maki died. I don't know if each of you have seen it, but if the article on this newspaper is true, wouldn't it also explain that video?
It can't be. If that video... If it's really true, then my family is already...
Actually, Ayame and Mitsuhiro. I always want to call him Mitsuhiga because to call him Higa something. Anyway, Ayame and Mitsuhiro's words just added more credibility. The FIFA headquarters being attacked, the land being destroyed so much it would be impossible to run anymore. Wouldn't that match what this article says? To sum it all up, after entering Hope's Peak Academy and spending a normal school life here, the biggest and most desperate event in human history occurred. Somehow, we survived, with our memories being removed by someone, and then we suspected each other in a place we didn't recognize. That is what happened.
Such a thing. I can't believe it. But after listening to you, I wonder if it's all right to say that it's all true. Then the article that said Hope's Peak Academy is the epicenter of the incident? We, who are students of this academy, had nothing to do with it all.
But then why? Why us? Why are we the only ones here? What happened to the other students? Are we really the only ones alive?
Don't get angry at me, you fool, because it isn't confirmed yet anyways. I don't know the details, but I can think of one reason why we're in this predicament. Of the 15 of us... No, isn't it because the mastermind's among 16 of us?
So, that's the idea? Are you still doubting Mikako and Yamato?
No. I don't... About that.
Huh? Then what other option is there? In the morning you were suspicious of Mikako and Yamato. If it's not them, other than them, who the heck could it be?
Don't make a fuss and just listen. This isn't certain, it's just conjecture. My own imagination, per se. We just said that our memories have been erased, right? So, what if the mastermind is in the same state?
What do you mean, Ray? Are you saying the mastermind erased their own memories?
Only if. It's just one possibility, but if it were really to be true, then it won't matter who the mastermind is. It could be any of us. It could be Yuki, it could be Akane, it could be Teruya, or maybe it's me, the one saying this. I don't want to approach that line of thinking, but it's not good, and it's not good to lie in our partnership, so I'll be honest with you. I'm afraid. If this hypothesis were to be true, and if I were the mastermind, the more I dig, the more I'll deny that existence, the more they'll deny their existence.
Ray, for the first time since we'd met, trembled slightly and showed weakness. Self-denial of her own existence. Would it be self-destruction for Ray, who values perfection the most? Ray!
I'm sorry. I said that I could come along if we were to catch the mastermind, but suddenly it's ended up like this. After the hypothesis of amnesia, I came up with this theory we're thinking about the mastermind. Since then, I've gotten this terrible chill up my spine and become exhausted. This appearance doesn't fit me at all. Not to me. So forget about it for now.
Ray, you must be human too. I'd be afraid if I had that kind of feeling.
Stupid! I just paused for a moment to tell you to forget it. Our goals aren't changing, so I know.
Ray shouted in embarrassment. It took just a moment for her to catch her breath, but she looked down at the paper and spoke again.
It's just one of the numerous possibilities. I think it's unlikely, so just put it aside for now.
Wait, you've been suspicious of Mikako and Yamato all this time, so why did it make you think suddenly the other direction?
To be honest, it was simply process of elimination that led me to doubt them. I felt like there was something unconventional. There was something unconventional about the two of them being the mastermind. What if that unpretentious appearance is not the acting of a mastermind? What if you really don't know what if they really don't know that they are the mastermind? What if you don't know your true self?
If that's the case, then don't... And we don't even realize that we're the mastermind. If all that's true, then it's impossible to know the mastermind's true nature.
Yes, and it's unlikely we will. If they erase their own memory like this in the first place, even as the mastermind, it would be impossible to do any follow-up. There'd be no plan, or anything at all. They would have only had one chance. If the mastermind is someone who's good, who's acting good, then even those with their unpretentious appearances could be acting as well. They would be considered... It would be a huge smokescreen for all we know.
Hey, if that was the case, wouldn't it be more realistic to conclude there's no mastermind among us? Mikako's suspicious, and we suspect her because of Yamato's existence. Conversely, there's no guarantee the mastermind was always among us. If we're all victims and an unidentified third party is the mastermind, then your doubts would be resolved, right? If, in the beginning, the mastermind was the cause of this biggest, most desperate event in human history, it would mean that one of us committed such a world-class terrorism.
Well, I honestly agree with that. It doesn't make sense for one high school student to change the world like that. But, if I were to reverse your thinking, there's no guarantee that the mastermind in our situation would be the same person as the mastermind who caused all of this to human history.
Right, but...
Still, I have to agree with Yuki. It's hard to believe there's a mastermind among us. Among us! Everybody's saying among us! No matter what we faced. And there's the issue of controlling Monokuma, too.
Just as Yuki said, there's no guarantee. Fine, but I'm just trying to examine every possible outcome. I always try to think there's a mastermind mixed within us.
To be honest, everything we said so far is so vague, it doesn't feel real still, but...
Right. Even if it's true in theory, artificially erasing our memories, such a thing is practically impossible, right?
Not entirely. When you think about the Kisaragi Foundation's scientific power...
What?
Didn't I say I found out 2 things? One thing was about the amnesia. The other one is information about the Kisaragi Foundation.
A little while ago, you said something about the scientific power of them.
I literally just said it, right? It's no exaggeration to say the Kisaragi Foundation is already half a century ahead of cutting-edge science. There are rumors they were actually providing manpower to the United States, although not from a reliable source.
The Kisaragi Foundation can manipulate people's memories?
It wouldn't seem impossible. It's one of the reasons why I initially thought the mastermind was among us. Is there really a need for someone to control Monokuma? So far, it seems to have moved perfectly well on its own.
What? Monokuma did?
Actually, it's not a dream to create a Monokuma-type artificial intelligence robot with the skills the Kisaragi Foundation had. The humanoid theory was already complete.
Well, that's incredible, but, Ray, you didn't treat Monokuma like an artificial intelligence when they were back here.
At the time, I didn't know the Kisaragi Foundation was so deeply involved. But this hypothesis is also quite absurd, because that level of AI has already reached the level of AI has already reached the level of human beings.
The Kisaragi Foundation. What is it? Why is it involved with Hope Speak Academy?
Certainly, that is the important question. And the Kisaragi Foundation's mark was on the 5th floor's collection room. And the ballroom.
About that, listen carefully to what I have to say from now on, because it may shock you.
Why'd you lower your voice?
It's about what I found out about the Kisaragi Foundation. That is...
Huh? What are you guys doing in here? Monokuma! Seriously, stop appearing out of nowhere!
What do you mean out of nowhere? More than that, I can't see the surveillance camera again. What's wrong with this stupid thing?
Wasn't it always like that?
Leave it. Did Monokuma catch a strange thing not once but twice now?
Hey, it's nighttime already, and you don't even sleep in here.
You guys, I won't hesitate.
What? But we haven't done anything bad. Isn't it just a strange thing there's 2 males and 2 females? What?
Hey, fuck off.
Yeah, it was a joke. Seriously, the surveillance camera doesn't seem to work, so I'm just here to check it out.
Why are you checking with us that Why are you explaining to us that your management is poor? What do you know about those surveillance cameras? We're not even trying to go to sleep, we're just gathering to chat here. So hurry up and get out.
Is it really poor management? In my vivid mind, I think that you must have done something to it. You know, right? That if that's true, you're guilty of damaging the
Monokuma? Monokuma, who was usually... who usually spoke strangely, suddenly entered a different mood than usual and then stopped as if it had died.
Huh? It stopped speaking.
Monokuma, what are you doing?
Hey, hold on. This is somehow similar to back then.
When?
When Kinji's execution was over, Makako Kurokawa went down the secret stairs saying that Monokuma had stopped.
Huh? Does that mean the school is still closed?
What's wrong with it? It's not even not even like a computer before crashing.
It might be something like that.
Oh, it's back.
Oh, my body's movements are getting dull.
Oh no, it's not the movement that's dull. It can't be. This is not at all. My body doesn't move.
11 seconds have passed. Seems there's enough time to move. Not? What are you doing, Monokuma?
Wait, the system is a little bit. The camera isn't the problem now.
I'm gonna do a quick checkup.
It's gone. What was that?
Leave it alone. We can't afford to worry about Monokuma. Also, I'd rather call off our meeting for today.
But we haven't heard the second fact you found yet.
I'll tell you about it tomorrow. As you may have seen before, Monokuma is slowly starting to notice the anomalies in my room. I'll come up with other measures soon. So go back for now.
Let's do as Ray suggests, guys. It's already late anyway. We'll have to go to bed early for tomorrow.
Honestly, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep much because of what you just told me. But I guess I'll go.
Go. Get to bed. And sleep this... What? Go to bed and sleep. The switch is off now.
Right. Why a teddy bear?
Stop worrying and go to sleep already.
And then we decided to go to bed at Ray's proposal. I should head back to my room.
That was long. I think I'm only going to get 2 FTEs in here. We'll see.
I laid in my bed, but couldn't sleep at all. If Ray's story is true, then all of us, we've already spent time here in Hope's Peak. If we lost our memories... we ended up killing each other. Our own friends who we used to go to school together with. That can't be. We were all amnesiacs. Ray said it was just a guess, an unlikely story. As to convince myself, I tried to fall asleep.
We're gonna dream about evil. Wow, I was right.
So, what are you going to do next? Hey, to think you've been against all your classmates that way, it's pretty desperate, isn't it? Then, I'll leave you with what I've been thinking about before. The details are over. I mean, it's annoying. Don't worry, I'll be watching. Even if I said that, I can't say for sure because it's not important right now. By the way, do you know? As long as you keep deciding, the more you will end up dead. Huh? Did you want me to worry about you? Even your own existence won't interfere with the plan, so get rid of the useless flattery. So, what do you think? Are you in despair now? No, fun. Whatever. From now on, you'll be king over there. Do a good job.
Who could that be?
Ugh. Is it morning? Ow, my head! Headache. Must have slept the wrong way. I think I had a strange dream, but I can't remember properly because of this headache.
Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up!
Just in time. There's the morning announcement. I should go have breakfast with the others.
Yamato's just over there. I love eggs.
Breakfast time as usual. There were only 4 of us, even with Ray, but that aside, we were quieter than ever. It goes without saying, even if we tried to have a conversation to find something to fight the mastermind, you'd expose it due to the surveillance camera. Besides that, everyone seemed to have a lot to think about after last night. Most crucially, because of the current dining room and a mix of disparate characters, and the mix-in of a disparate character in addition to the 4 of us.
Bacon. Oh, this is a lot. This food, it is. Did you make all of this? Intermediate. What? Intermediate taste of the new world in the old world, but the women dancing on the tango of the Iberian Peninsula is familiar. Why is he here? The taste of the food is getting worse, so I'm stopping.
Ray, no matter how harsh it is, you can't...
What's wrong? If I don't tell you what I think of him, you already know it.
Well, Ray already suspected Yamato more than anyone of being the mastermind.
Hey, but have any of you spoke to him? He's only been saying meaningless stuff all the time.
I tried talking to him yesterday, but I didn't really understand anything he was saying. It's just like Monokuma said. I think there's something wrong in his head. Oh, I rhymed that. But even putting that aside, I don't think he's so arrogant.
It's not about being good or bad. Don't you know what I want to say? Do I really need to say it openly right here, right now?
Ray, lower your voice. He's gonna hear it.
Whether he listens or not, he's disabled anyway, so what do I care? Ooh, bad take. Okay.
Ray, you've been, rather fierce this morning.
Mikako, are you out of your mind?
Are you okay? You're pouring out blood in your face all over.
Oh, right. Yesterday, Mikako came to her senses for a brief moment. Except for me and Yamato, I guess nobody knows. I forgot about that.
I'm okay.
That's all well and good, but why are you here? Do you still think you're in a cooperative relationship with the rest of us? You're obviously hiding something. Until you tell us the truth, you're not in the clear.
Sorry, I'll just eat and get out. No, wait a minute. There's no need to push it so far. Mikako, it's okay, so...
There are certain facts that only she knows. They might be decisive keys to change this frustrating situation. And you just want to move on like that.
Ray.
I'm sorry, but I gotta agree with Ray. If you're hiding something, just be honest and say it. Why can't you?
It's okay. You don't have to fight for me. Everyone, just do what you've always done. Mikako?
I can't take this any longer. Even right now, you're saying you're going to keep your mouth shut and stay away from all of us while casting suspiciousness all over the place. Stop playing around. You're treating us like fools.
Oh, I'm kinda surprised for Ray to suddenly have an outburst like that.
Another headache. What's the deal with those? What is your relationship with the Kisaragi Foundation? How did you know that if Monokuma stops, the facility would shut down?
I'm sorry. I can't answer.
Why can't you?
Can't answer.
Are you kidding me? Then you're putting all aside to say that you're the mastermind. Can you really do that,
Ray, calm down. Why are you suddenly so heated? Mikako, I know this is painful, but I have to ask you. If you know something, just tell us, please. I can't. Is it because you don't want to talk, or because you really don't know anything?
It's not that.
Then why? I'm not asking you to tell us what you know. I'm asking you why you can't tell us.
Don't come near me.
Hey, Mikako Kurakawa, why are you running away? Whoa, she's fast. Jesus. Are you sure she's not the ultimate sprinter? Oh my goodness.
Ray!
What? Why did things turn like this all of a sudden?
This is the first time I've seen Mikako act like that. And Ray, too. What's going on? Is there something in the air? Are you feeling alright, Akane?
We just have to follow them. Ray!
She went into her room.
Ray, why are you so angry? Nothing will change by getting mad at her. I thought you'd be more aware than this.
Of course I know that. And I also know that it isn't like me. But I'm more curious of you, who can be so calm in a situation like this.
What are you trying to say?
I'll call you later tonight. Until then, do some investigation, won't you?
Well, I guess it's just the three of us.
Ray,
Since when was Ray so emotional? This day is the weirdest of all.
It's a story we didn't hear last night. It must be that. Ray knows something that we don't. Does it make us different somehow?
are you saying it's serious enough for Ray to be so mad like that?
I don't know. We really have no way of knowing. But it's making me feel uneasy for some reason.
Dun dun dun.
Ray, who showed an emotional behavior,
Cool.
told us to follow her. When I looked her in the eyes, she was shaking a little. Oh well, time for free time. It's important to stay positive.
Woohoo! Woo! Alright, well, I'll probably do some more FDEs. We'll see how long Teruya's are, because maybe I'll just do all of them. So I will sign off with you there, but that's it for recording today. Or, like, well, this part anyway. Okay, bye!
Teruya, where are you from?
Huh? Why'd you ask?
I wonder. Well, you're obviously speaking with some kind of dialect, but I'm not sure which specific region it's from.
I'm from Tokyo.
What? Tokyo? Then how come you're so good at regional dialects?
That is, Pop and I traveled across a lot of regions for business. And in places like Osaka, Kyoto, Fukuoka,
I've never heard of that.
and Sapporo, we stayed for more than a year whenever we went there.
I have not heard... I mean, I haven't heard of every place Japan, so I guess that makes sense.
That's how I picked up some of the local folks' language. Wasn't able to stop using it, so decided to make it my identity.
For a year? You really are the successor to be of Japan's top-class merchant. That's awesome.
Yeah, now can I get you to give me your measurements? You think so? It's nothing to be surprised about. My papa's so much greater than me. Going along in Papa's travels from childhood is essential to learn his business techniques. I enjoyed it, so I joined him happily.
I was very confused by that for a second before I realized it was supposed to be him.
So I joined him happily.
From childhood? Since when did you start traveling with him?
Since I was a baby. Huh? When was it? I was like 5, I think. Papa wanted me to be prepared as his only child and successor, so he suggested the idea first.
Wow, your father really is cool. Traveling across all of Japan. It must have been fun, and educational too.
Well, I did visit a lot of places, and in competitors' malls he taught me merchant skills. With Pops by my side, I could learn things based on my interest rather than academics.
But there must have been some hard times too, right?
We don't talk about that. Hard times, you say? Well, constantly transferring between schools was tough.
School?
Do some thinking. How'd you go to school while traveling across all those regions? School uniforms changed all the time. I got little time to spend with my classmates either. That's why I don't have many close friends.
That must have been hard.
Nah, it's fine. Traveling with my papa was more enjoyable than school anyway. Hope Civic Academy is the first school I've entered without him by my side. I never thought my first attempt at settlement would end up being this. What should I do, Yuki? Papa'll be worried about me to death.
Maybe you should be worried about your death. We need to find a way out first. This kind of topic will make us feel worse, so let's talk about something else.
I guess. Maybe you're right. Okay, let me tell you about the stuff that happened to me while I was traveling across the country. I can guarantee it'll keep you entertained for more than 3 hours. It's going to be helpful to you.
I think 3 hours is too much. I parted with Teruya after listening to some of his stories.
Okay. 2 more parts. Oh, 1 more part. Never mind. I take it back.
Yuki, I got something to tell you.
Wait. Is Teruya the first one we've had that only has 4 FTEs? Tsurugi had 5, right? And Akane definitely did. I think even Kanata did. That's weird. Maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while.
What is it? Are you trying to make trendy items out of me again?
How'd you know? You're a real smarty pants. Maybe that nerdy outfit isn't just for show.
What else would it be?
Then let's go and make some things with you as the test subject.
I'm a guinea pig. One hell of a guinea pig. Maybe he'll give me one of those little water bottles and a wheel. That'd be nice.
Come to my place, Yuki.
Teruya's innocent smile felt cheeky as ever, but since I wanted to see what his room looked like, I followed.
Yuki's so curious about what people's rooms look like. It's very funny.
Wow, it is just a mess in here. Are those gold bars? Is this Teruya's room? There's a lot of things cluttered in here. And a gun? I guess it's fitting for the ultimate merchant.
Now, Yuki, shall we begin?
Yeah, just get it over with, Teruya. I don't care anymore. I'll just give up and deal with it. Teruya took some measurements on my body, then began sketching something on paper. I looked to see it was a design for some kind of clothing. Sure enough, this new design looked as bizarre and outlandish as any previous one.
What you think of it, Yuki?
Wait, does he have graves in here? I just realized that.
Doesn't it look too flashy?
Nah, that's no issue. The trend these days is to dress up to express yourself. The more unique, the better. Ordinary designs have no value.
But that's more like being excessive than unique. We're not on a Hawaiian vacation, you know? What kind of school would allow that uniform?
No worries, no worries. Schools these days are pretty tolerant of fashionable kids. Don't you go naysaying for weird reasons like that.
Okay.
See, wouldn't this be an ideal summer uniform? You make you feel right at the beach even while you're studying. Pops has always praised me for my artistic sense. Can't you feel it too?
I forget how the Japanese school system works. I remember learning about it when I was in high school. But I know they go all year round, I think. But they have, like, more breaks, obviously, to break it up. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. But I guess if I grew up there, I'd just be doing it. There would be no I don't know.
I swear, I'll drop out of my school without hesitation if they ever accept that horror as a new uniform.
I can't help thinking about Papa when I'm like this.
Your father? Why?
Yuki, he thinks about his father about everything, apparently.
It's what I did with my Papa when I was a young guy.
Young lad.
And even after I grew up, the two of us continued to come up with and work on new ideas for products. I wrote it all down on paper, just like I'm doing now.
Cool.
Always seeking advice from Papa, of course. My talent as a merchant all came from his teachings.
Wow, you never cease to talk about him. You must hold him in a very high esteem.
Of course I do. Pops is just the greatest. In fact, it's my first time working with someone other than him. And you don't bring just anyone into these sessions. That'd be like leaking my product secrets.
Huh? Really? Am I okay to be here then? I don't think
you'd snitch on me for my whatever. All's fine. You're special. I can trust you, Yuki. I don't think you'll ever betray me. I believe in you to help me out till the end of all these things.
That is some wildly crazy trust.
I'm glad you trust me, but shouldn't you be a bit more cautious? Not that I'm going to stab you in the back, but it wouldn't hurt to be more safe.
Well, speaking the truth, aren't you my friend? Papa once told me that love and friendship aren't things that can be judged based on pros and cons. Since you're my friend, Yuki, I trust you, so you should trust me too. Because you know who I am. I'm Teruya Tori, the future owner of retail giant Otori Mart. You're like communing with someone really famous.
Teruya really likes his father, although it gave the impression he's a daddy's boy.
I've never heard that said before.
I can understand his admiration for his father's lessons that brought him to where he is now. After seeing Teruya open his heart to me, I began to hope he would truly succeed as a merchant later in life. I feel a deep bond with Teruya. A deep, deep, deep bond.
Alright, well, that's going to be the end of the episode. So I will say to like and subscribe and check the Patreon and check the Twitter and check the Discord and, you know, all that fun stuff. These FTEs, as much as I love Teruya, did pretty much nothing for him. Like, what did we learn?
I really like my dad, okay? That's all you need to know about me.
I think Teruya definitely deserved the glow up he got in another two. Because he is kind of just annoying here. I would view him on the same level as Yasuhiro, if not for his SDRA2 appearance. Which is sad. Because his SDRA2 appearance is very good. Alright, thank you guys for watching. You guys voted for Great Ace Attorney. You know what? I was not expecting that, so you guys better watch it this time. So we'll be going back to that on Wednesday. I'm gonna have to like review the last few videos I did because we were right in the middle of a trial and that was months ago. So that should be fun. So see you then. Bye!